What's up, Couch fam? Today I'm here to talk about my guys. These are the guys I am targeting in fantasy football. I've been targeting them so far in a lot of best ball drafts. Redraft season hasn't quite started yet, but a lot of people are going to start drafting here in a couple weeks, so might as well go over my favorite players that I'm targeting. With my first overall pick in fantasy football redraft this year, I'm going to go with either Justin Jefferson or Bijan Robinson. I have them as a tie. Now, there's nothing wrong with CMC. There's nothing wrong with Eckler. I prefer Bijan because of the draft capital. The team loves to run the ball and all of a sudden runs the ball well. And just by default, he's younger, so he's going to be less injury prone. We know that CMC, he was super injury prone last year. All of a sudden, maybe he's not injury prone. That's public perception. Austin Eckler has been great with injuries. He's been great with overcoming minor injuries, but he's getting a little bit older. I'm not saying he's injury prone or anything. I just think by default, Bijan is less injury prone, so he's my favorite running back, and I'm going to be taking him number one overall in some of my leagues. In other leagues, it's going to be Justin Jefferson. Bijan's going 8th overall, by the way. That's his ADP. That's in redraft PPR. My next guy is Nick Chubb. I've never really been on the Nick Chubb hype train. My only worry this year with Nick Chubb is the injuries, but he's going to be the man. He's the type of running back that coaches absolutely love. He runs so well. He's a great in real life runner. He's going to be so consistent in fantasy football, and with Kareem Hunt gone, the show is his. He is the workhorse. I absolutely love Nick Chubb this year. Although he may not finish RB1, I love that upside. I always look at upside. I also seem like, how can he not finish as a top 3 or top 4 running back somehow? Some way, like he's going to make it there. He's going to be so consistent. He's going to get you 20 touches every single game, and he is a great pick. He's going at the 3rd pick in round 2, and I would not hesitate to take him in the 1st round. That's how much I love him. You can get him, for example, and then pair him with a top 6 or a top 8 wide receiver. And one of the wide receivers you could pair him up with is the next guy on my list, Garrett Wilson. You know, Adam Rank on NFL Network, I think he has him ranked as this wide receiver 5. I see a lot of other analysts have him ranked as wide receiver 5. Some are going kind of crazy. I'm going to have him ranked as my 6th best wide receiver. He's going to absolutely explode this year with Aaron Rodgers. He's got a high floor, high ceiling. He's going to be great in PPR. He'll probably be great in non-PPR because he'll probably get touchdowns because he has Aaron Rodgers now. He's going in the 8th pick of the 2nd round. That's his ADP. I wouldn't hesitate to draft him 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I would take him right there. Absolutely love Garrett Wilson. The next guy has an asterisk next to his name, and that's Rhamondre Stevenson. In the Couch fam, we know him as Rhamondre Steve. That's his frat boy name. He's going to absolutely explode this year. Did you know that Rhamondre Stevenson got 88 targets last year? Did you know that? That's insane. And that was with Damian Harris. I know Damian Harris missed a couple games, but that was when Damian Harris was there. Now he's not there. The whole backfield is his. This is an RB-centric offense. At least it was last year. They'll throw the ball a little bit more this year, sure, but that's not going to matter that much. It's still going to be the Rhamondre show. The asterisk, though, why is that there? It's because New England has been known to do this. We've been played games by the coach, Bellatrix. Right? They might sign another running back. So if they do sign a Dalvin Cook or even Zeke, or I don't think they won't sign Fournette because they tried him out and they didn't sign him. So I don't think they'll sign him. But if they do sign another running back, like anybody, it's going to really hurt Rhamondre's value. If that doesn't happen, he's going early round 3. I'd absolutely smash the draft button if he's available in round 3, especially if I already drafted a wide receiver early, or maybe even I drafted 2 wide receivers early. I'm a value guy. I always look at value. I absolutely love it. I look at value. I look at the draft board. I look at roster construction. I look at the settings. That's my strategy. That's how I play the game. That's how I draft. But some of these guys, you know, I'm going to have asterisks next to their name. Some of these guys I even kind of hate, but like I love him this year all of a sudden. So it's going to vary. And there's a couple guys on here that aren't great value picks, and this guy's one of them. TJ Hockenson is going 4.05. That's his ADP. That's not incredible value. That's not like, oh my God, he's in the 4th round, smash. Like, I have to draft TJ Hockenson. That's not the case with Hawk. Why I have him on here? I feel like he's going to outperform Mark Andrews, or at least be very similar. Like, he's going to be tied with Mark Andrews in terms of production, or maybe even be slightly better. But with Mark Andrews, he's going a whole round earlier. There's actually going like 13 picks before Hockenson. That's a huge difference. Andrews is going 3.04. Hawk is going 4.05. That's the world of difference. If I'm going early tight end and I don't get Kelsey, because you have to have like a top 7 or top 8 pick to even get Kelsey. He's going so early. He's going like 6th overall in a lot of leagues. So if you miss out on Kelsey, yet you still want that for sure stud tight end, the next guy I would try and target is TJ Hockenson. And I'm pretty confident you can get him in round 4. Round 3 is a bit too early for me, and I wouldn't really touch him in round 3. I don't think so. The next guy is one of my favorites. If you want to gamble on a guy, it's got to be Calvin Ridley. I am drafting this guy all the time on the best ball tournaments. Absolutely love him. There's very few players where you can be like, okay, this guy can be the number 1 at his position or top 5 at his position, and he's going much later. Sure, he can hurt you if he doesn't work out, but the talent is there. The energy is there. He sounds like he's got his head on straight now. He's been through a lot. And that Falcons team like 3 years ago, that was such a depressing, just a sad unit to be on. Matt Ryan getting knocked over, not even be able to see straight. Just keep taking L's, keep losing. Super Bowl hangovers hitting hard. It was just a terrible situation. And now, ray of sunshine, right? He's playing with Trevor Lawrence. He's playing with Dougie P, head coach Doug Peterson. This is an exciting, amazing, youthful, energetic, fun freaking offense to play on. Calvin Ridley has top 5 wide receiver potential. I wouldn't really say I'm making this up or just like my opinion or something. I mean, we have seen him finish as a top 5 wide receiver. We've seen him run routes. Like, he's got it in him. Whatever, even if you don't think top 5. I mean, some people even say top 3. Still, he's got the upside to just absolutely demolish his ADP. He's going around 4.12, 5.01 for a guy going nearly in round 5. I think it's worth a gamble. If you're in multiple leagues and you're not believing me, you don't like my guys, all I'm going to tell you is try to at least get 1 or 2 shares of Calvin Ridley. At least have him on like one of your teams, especially if he falls to round 5, which if he falls to round 5, I'm going to freak out in my drafts. I'm going to just absolutely lose it, and I'm going to run to the podium and draft Ridley. Here's another guy who I love fighting for. This is the guy I'm going to probably fight for the most. I don't love debating with people and having like these fake like arguments, like on ESPN or whatever, Shannon Sharp, like that type of like, this debate. Oh, this is my guy and I'm not that type of guy. But if I were to do these type of weird debates where I get all angry and stuff, it would be over Christian Watson. That's how much I'm going to just pound the table for him, because I don't get it. Like, people like other players so much, like DK Metcalf or Drake London, and some people just hate Christian Watson. Now, Christian Watson's a very polarizing player, and this does really go back to when I kind of nailed DK Metcalf's projection as a prospect. Right, most polarizing prospect I've seen in fantasy football, and maybe even just the NFL in general. Christian Watson, very similar type of player as well. Same position, same type of player. So he's going 5.06. It's not incredible value. I'd say it's good value. Like it's not too late, not really too early. It's solid value. It's not like a total misinterpretation. Like people aren't totally misreading it. But this is what happened, right? When he came back from the injury, week 10 and so forth last year, he finished as the wide receiver 9. So what's people's points? Okay, he's going to have TD regression. No way he's catching TD. So all of a sudden now, we're playing this game where we're taking away touchdowns from players. Like touchdowns didn't matter. They were flukes. Like it's not going to happen. Whatever. Let's just take it. Let's do that. Let's take away touchdowns from players. Because, yeah, I mean, that's just what we're doing. That's the game we're playing now. Okay, so we take away every single touchdown that Christian Watson scored last year. In that span, he would finish wide receiver 31. With no touchdowns. Like he's allergic to the touchdown. Worse than Julio Jones. If he scored a touchdown, he needed an EpiPen, he would just die right there, okay? If that was the case, he would finish wide receiver 31 during that span, and that's right next to Drake London, Deontay Johnson, and Jalen Waddle. That's right, Drake London, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Waddle. They all finished around that like wide receiver 30, 32 range, right around there in that same span. And those guys aren't that bad, right? And so that's if you take away it all. I mean, why do we play that game? Why don't we give him a touchdown? Why don't we give him that very first throw that he had in his career from Aaron Rodgers, right? Coming back, big throw to Christian Watson. He dropped it. He could have scored like a 60-yard touchdown or something insane, 50-yard touchdown, whatever it was. Let's add that. Why don't we add a touchdown? Why don't we just make him wide receiver 6 or 5 during that span? Whatever game you want to play, I'm here for it, buddy. I am pounding the table for Christian Watson. I absolutely love him. If you're looking for a breakout player, it's him. More valid criticism would be Jordan Love. I think that's much more valid of an argument against Christian Watson. He's got an unknown at the QB position. I get that. I get that he went from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, like on paper, or when you say that out loud, that doesn't sound good. But remember, this was Aaron Rodgers' last year on the Packers. Kind of like when I was talking about the Falcons, depressing, weird situation. Rodgers sucked last year. He was a bust. He just didn't have it last year. Jordan Love came in for a little bit, and he looked better than Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, I'm not telling you that Jordan Love is better than Aaron Rodgers, but I honestly do believe that Jordan Love could be better than 2022 Aaron Rodgers. That's not that much of a stretch. It's not that crazy. So you got a little bit of unknown at QB. I'll give you that. At the same time, hey, DK Metcalf did it with a couple of QBs. I think Christian Watson will be just fine. Now we're not going like quite in order of ADP, but this will make sense. I kind of bunched up like tiers and positions together. So the next group of my guys is the last of the tier 1 quarterbacks. Now people could break these top 8 QBs into 2 tiers. I'm probably going to keep them at 1. And so the last of the tier is going to be Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Fields. Justin Fields being the most risky. He's going to get hit quite a bit. He's a running QB who hasn't proven he can throw in the NFL yet. Threw great in college, so he does have that upside. Like I do think he's going to be able to do it this year. Also, I don't know. So I'm not pounding the table for Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence, he's ascending. I think he'll take another jump this year because he's got Calvin Ridley. I mean, they did all that without a true number 1 wide receiver. It was Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram and good amount of Zay Jones. Now Calvin Ridley's for sure the number 1 wide receiver on that team. That should help out TLaw quite a bit. And TLaw is maturing. He's learning the game a lot better. He's got a great coach. And then we got Justin Herbert, who you are getting at a discount. He was regarded as a top 3 quarterback last year, and nothing's really changed other than they help him get another weapon. So they don't have like a big power running back that can't catch or something. They don't have that. They're going to probably lead the league in passing. Justin Herbert is athletic. He was a 3-sport athlete in high school. And he fell off last year a little bit after the rib injury. Just never got over it. I thought he'd get over it. He seemed pretty hindered from that, and his wide receivers were injured throughout the whole entire year. But now he's got Quentin Johnston. Not a big fan, but still, that's going to help Herbert. Like, I don't love QJ. I get that. But he's good at the stuff he does. He's going to be a good yak guy. He's a big body. He's athletic. Regardless of what I think of QJ, it still helps the offense. He's got another big weapon, and he's super talented. Justin Fields could be QB1. He's one of the best rushing QBs all time, maybe. We only got a small sample of that, but he could be. And now if he throws the ball well, watch out. We've seen that jump with Lamar Jackson. People like to compare the Josh Allen year 3 jump. I'm going to do more of the Lamar Jackson. Well, Lamar Jackson he was very raw. He was struggling his first year, and they didn't pass the ball much. He was like a QB 10 type of guy. Just because they ran the ball so well, then all of a sudden, huge jump, MVP season. He can throw too. What? He can run. He can throw. He's killing it. He's leading the league in passing touchdowns. So, like, we can see that jump with Justin Fields for sure. He has that. He's just more risky. Just to make sense here, right? That's the first tier of QBs. So once Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Burrow, once those guys are gone, also Lamar Jackson, once those 5 are gone, that's when I'll probably step up to the podium and draft a QB. Soon as I see like Burrow or Lamar Jackson go, then I'm probably going to just step up and be like, all right, I'm taking the best QB off the board. It might be Fields, Herbert, or if those guys are gone, it's going to be T-Law. I grouped 3 running backs here: Cam Akers, Alexander Mattison, J.K. Dobbins. And my favorite out of these is going to be Cam Akers. I've always hated him. I hate Sean McVay when it comes to telling us what running backs are going to do what. There's not too much competition there for Cam Akers. He should do very well on this Rams offense. It's a contract year. The price isn't great. J.K. Dobbins was originally my guy, but huge question mark, man. He's not showing up. I don't know. Is he holding out? Is he just mad? Is he hurt? I don't know what's going on with J. Dobbins right now. Probably in a couple weeks, once we start drafting, we'll have a lot more clarity. I was predicting a J.K. Dobbins breakout year. Absolutely love J.K., but when people are like holding out and not showing up, it doesn't just worry me. Like, the performance could dip too. Like, if they miss a couple games and they come back, like, they're just not, like, acclimated to the game. We've seen it time and time again. Le'Veon Bell was an extreme example, but, I mean, his whole career got ruined. He did nothing after he held out. Melvin Gordon spiraled out of control, spiraled downward. He went from being a really good running back to just being garbage, almost nearly out of the league. So it's always a bad sign. Like, I'm always worried about that. And Alexander Mattison, the price is right with him. He's getting a lot of flack. A lot of people hate him. They think it's an ambiguous running back room where we don't know who the workhorse is. I'm a little bit more confident that it is Mattison, because whenever Dalvin Cook got hurt before, Mattison was a true workhorse. And I think he will be a true workhorse for the Vikings. That's pretty cheap of a price. There's not too many quote-unquote workhorses out there at that price. By the way, Cam Akers is going 5.03, J.K. Dobbins 5.05, and Alexander Mattison 6.08. I think Cam Akers is the safest out of those. J.K. Dobbins is kind of like not available right now. Is just like what's going on there. And I think Alexander Mattison is at a huge discount. Next up, we got a wide receiver, Jahan Dotson. Now that the Commanders are selling the team, the curse is being lifted. We can finally breathe. No more poltergeist sequels. Nothing weird happening over there for the Commanders anymore. They sold the team. We can rejoice. Now, Jahan Dotson is going 8.10. He's got huge upside, and he's not as good as DK Metcalf, but I'm going to compare him to DK. Now, DK is going super early, while Lockett is going super late. Like, even though they're not that far apart, right? And then on top of that, we can get Jahan Dotson 17 picks after Lockett. Just think about that. Like, people are drafting DK so early. Lockett's going very late. Another good pick this year. And then we have Jahan Dotson 17 picks after Lockett. Huge upside. And I think that's tied into small sample size because he was injured last year. And a little bit of a question mark at quarterback. But the quarterbacks sucked last year. I don't see it being much worse. If Howell sucks, at least he's got Jacoby Brissett. Like, Donovan Peoples-Jones and Amari Cooper didn't do that bad with Brissett last year. I feel like Dotson will be fine. And I feel like he's going nearly round 9. That's like free. I'm going to definitely smash the table. I'm going to break the table like a Bills fan on this one. This is not accurate, by the way. Like, take these ADPs with a grain of salt. They will change. It's still too early. And, well, the other ones aren't too bad. This one is just, it's not right. It's not going to happen. It makes me look better, I guess, but it's just not realistic. I got to warn you. It says that Elijah Moore is going 13.09. That doesn't even make sense. So he's going like nearly undrafted in a 16-team league. That's not going to happen, dude. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you're in a real draft, okay, I'm going to tell you Elijah Moore will probably go about 2 rounds after Jahan Dotson, okay? So if Jahan Dotson goes round 8, Elijah Moore will go like round 9 or 10. So just keep that in mind. That's like a realistic scenario. Elijah Moore is not going after like the 5th defense that's drafted off the board. After like 3 people draft a kicker, like it's not going to happen. He's not going to be drafted round 14. But he is being absolutely slept on because he was irrelevant last year. And that was just a mess of a situation. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. His attitude was wrong. I don't blame him too much. Like I'm not defending him for that, but like I do understand that. Whenever he was open, his quarterback didn't throw to him, and like it was just a mess. Like more things will have to go right. The Browns are trying to make it work. I think he's the number 2 option in this passing offense. Elijah Moore in the slot is going to be lethal. He's going to help Deshaun Watson out quite a bit. Deshaun Watson's going to do better. It's another case of, he had a down year, and his QB also had a down year last year. So it's like a little bit of a question mark at QB. Did this guy fall off? Like, I know he didn't. I don't think he did. I think he still got the talent. He just destroys corners. He's so quick. He's a great slot receiver. And on top of that, as a bonus, he's actually like really fast too. Like, you know, there's quickness, right? Like the shifty slot receiver quickness. He's got that. And then on top of that, he's got pretty good top end speed as well. Like that extra bonus in case he's running like deeper routes, right? He can do that every now and then too. Touchdown. Yeah, Elijah Moore, I'm probably drafting him in every league. So if you wait on tight ends, one of the guys I like, especially in PPR, is going to be Dalton Schultz. Now, he's on the Texans, so people are scared to draft players on bad teams. You know what? It's actually not a bad strategy. You should be wary of that. But there's such thing called garbage time. And you got to look at your league settings. And most of us play PPR. This man's going to get 3 or 4 targets in the 4th quarter alone. He's going to get so many targets, it's going to be insane. He's going to be one of the top safety blankets for CJ Stroud. He's going to be one of the top targets for CJ Stroud. He's going to be used early and often, and he's going to definitely be used late in the game when the Texans are down. The Texans are projected to be a bottom 3 team. That means they're going to be playing from behind most of the time, and that means more pass attempts. Dalton Schultz. Just like Cam Akers, I don't like him. I'm not a big Zach Charbonnet fan, but my mind was blown when I looked at the ADP, dude. I couldn't believe this. Because I talked to so many analysts and in my community, like so many people love Charbonnet. They just have a fever dream with Charbonnet. They just love him so much. They're like, I'm drafting him and this and that. He's going to take over the backfield. I'm like, you guys are idiots. I'm like, I'm drafting Kenneth Walker. But when I look at the ADP, Ken Walker's going early in the draft. And Charbonnet's going in round 10. I'm smashing. Like, it's going to be close. Like, they're going to have similar production when it comes to fantasy points. I really do think it's going to be close to 50-50. With Charbonnet and Ken Walker, I think they're both super talented. They're both going to get used. Like, this isn't that hard, guys. Like, Charbonnet is a good power running back. He can catch the ball. He's a good goal line back. I like how he runs. Now, I don't think he's that amazing or anything like that. But with that draft capital on this team, they're going to use him. This is an absolute insane value. His ADP's gotta be going up. It's gotta be like round 7 eventually. So if you're drafting early and you can get him round 9, 10, 11, smash. Another guy I like who is just going insane. Like, this is nuts. Rashaad Penny is going 12.01. He's going in the 12th round. And people are scared. People are scared of the injuries, but it's like, dude, it's totally worth the risk, man. Just go get Rashaad Penny. DeAndre Swift is projected to be more injury prone according to injury algorithms. Now, you can't really rely on that too much, but I think Swift is even more injury prone than Rashaad Penny if I had to pick between the two. And so you're thinking, okay, whatever. Rashaad Penny's still not going to get a lot of snaps. Well, guess what? No running back on the Eagles has ever gotten a ton of snaps. When was the last time they had a super workhorse? Honestly, it's probably LaShawn McCoy. Like, ever since then, they haven't had a super workhorse. Miles Sanders, right? Not a super talented guy. I would say he's about average when it comes to starting running backs. That's no knock on Miles Sanders. But Miles Sanders was a darling last year. He was drafted super late, and he performed very well. He was the RB13. He crushed his ADP, crushed his value. He only got 57.1% of the offensive snaps last year. It's not bad or anything compared to the average, but it's not like he's a super workhorse. So he did that, right? He got RB13 with 57% of snaps. I think Rashaad Penny's more talented also than Miles Sanders. So you get a more talented running back. He can easily do that if he gets 50% of the snaps. He can do that. And on top of that, we have a looming possible DeAndre Swift injury. And he's back. So he got that. I know we've been saying this, double tight end, Hernandez, Gronk days, and it's backfired big time with us. What was it? Dwayne Allen and Gronk? It was, right? Was it Dwayne Allen and Gronk? And then it was Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. It's backfired. But I don't look at Mike Gesicki as a tight end. He's a wide receiver. Like 100% a wide receiver. They didn't get him to block. So Hunter Henry's going to be a traditional tight end. He's going to block. He's going to be involved. But Mike Gesicki's going to be used a lot. Now, there's Devontae Parker there. He's like one of the worst wide receivers in the league. There's Juju. Now, he should be the number 1 target. He's going to definitely be in on a lot of snaps. And then there's Tyquan Thornton. Hasn't really shown up. I do like him as a flyer. They also drafted another small wide receiver, Mario Douglas, I think. I don't know if he'll do much. Anyway, Mike Gesicki's my favorite flyer. If you're going with a late tight end, your backup tight end. And a couple honorable mentions, James Conner. We're looking for workhorses, right? It's round 6. That's where James Conner is going. He's there. He's going to be a workhorse. I don't care if the team sucks. He's going to get a few receptions. He's going to get the goal line looks. He's going to get the early down looks. He's going to be a super workhorse. He works super hard, and he's just tough as nails. A little bit injury prone, so that's bad. And, of course, it's like the worst team in the league. But still, we're getting him at a discount. And around here, like I was saying, it's pretty hard to find a workhorse when you're in round 6 of your draft. And another super deep sleeper, he's going round 21, which means he's going undrafted, is Puka Nacua. You want to kind of chill on rookies. I've had rookie fevers before in drafts, big mistake I made in redrafts, and it really blew up in my face, and it sucks. So you want to take it easy when it comes to some rookies, but this guy, he at least has an immediate path to success. I do see him taking over that Robert Woods role immediately. He's very talented at screens. He's a solid wide receiver. He can do a lot of these these small little detailed things that Sean McVay loves. And that's why they drafted him. He's like, I can use him this way. I can use it to run this play and open up cup. I can use him to do this and fake this. So I do think he's going to be used. I don't know how many fantasy points he's going to get. All I'm doing is projecting that the man's going to get snaps his first year. And that's going to do it for this video. Those are my guys I am targeting in fantasy football 2023 redraft. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next video / live stream. I had to do this one sitting because I hurt my knees, but hopefully we'll get back to standing and get better microphones for the next one. All right, guys.